Yo, welcome to Hard Pass. I am your host, Jacques Slade. Today, on the show, we've got a lot of signature shoe talk, both in the NBA and WNBA. Michael Jordan living his best life, the return of the classics, the week's hottest release, and of course, a Hard Pass. All right, let's start with some hot takes. So, Chet Holmgren is the star of a Nike KD 17 commercial. Well, damn. That's a sentence I never imagined, I would say. I mean, let's count the reasons, right? One, in only his first season, Chet has proven he's got the goods, like another lanky kid who once played for Seattle, we didn't forget about y'all, and Oklahoma City years ago. Second, Chet plays for OKC, a city where KD hasn't been welcome since he left under not so great circumstances. Third, KD's still in the league, and even though he's the narrator in the clip, the focus is on Chet. And fourth, people are really out here theorizing that this is KD putting out feelers about a possible return to OKC before he calls it a career. Not gonna lie, I think the funnier outcome is if Seattle gets an NBA team in the next few years and KD signs there instead. But I guess, anyways, congrats to Chet on becoming an official KD guy, it seems. Nike is going deep into the archives to dig out some classics for sneakerheads to chase as part of their new Cult Classics program. To start things off, they will be bringing back faves like the Linen Air Force One, the Ultraman Dunk Low, and Reverse Duck Camo Air Max. Wait, are those a cult classic already? Didn't they just come out a few years ago? I guess something that recent can be considered a cult classic. Sure. Anyways, it's a cool idea that I hope Nike understands cannot work unless they bring in some true OGs of the sneaker game. Like, is the ratio of sneakers released pre-social media versus sneakers released post what did you wear today at least 4-1? Do they make obscure sneaker references in the comments that only fellow old heads understand? Can they identify this signature shoe without the help of a Google reverse image search? Do they have a favorite Sneds cartoon? Hit me up, Nike. I know some people that will be great for the job. In this week's around and find out news, this happened. Anyway, before we move on to the pick of the week, let's talk about signature shoes in the WNBA. On last week's show, we discussed Caitlyn Clark's Nike deal, reportedly $28 million for 8 years, and the impending signature shoe that will go with said deal. We also talked about how Clark's arrival to the W has been met with some snide comments and subtweets from current stars in the league because she's being framed as a golden goose. First, it was Diana Taurasi. Now it's A'ja Wilson. Allegedly, after news broke that Clark will be getting a signature shoe, people interpreted some posts Wilson made on social media as some sort of shot at Clark. And while Wilson has denied it has anything to do with Clark, it's also a glaring reminder that A'ja Wilson, despite her many accomplishments in the W and huge role in many of the Nike women's marketing campaigns, still does not have a signature shoe of her own. Again, not to say that we told you so, but anybody should get the call to be next, it's Wilson. Especially if the Las Vegas Aces go back-to-back and win another championship. So a hard pass to the Cosmic Unity, no offense, and a level up to a signature shoe for Wilson. So during Nike's Air event in Paris that I was a part of, check out my recap in the socials, they revealed several high-concept sneakers that also served as teasers for what's to come. One of the designs was a possible signature shoe for A'ja Wilson. While I doubt the final product will look like that image or this other AI-assisted design, it does mean that Nike understands that Wilson is someone they see as a signature shoe athlete. Now, whether they act on that instinct is a different story. I just hope it ends with the Nike A'ja 1, damn it. We know why Clark is getting a signature shoe. She's a needle mover. The attention being paid to the WNBA and women's college hoops was already on the uptick before she rose to fame. Clark just happened to be the right person at the right time to launch it into a different atmosphere. And let's be real here. She's a white girl from Iowa who built a massive brand shooting logo threes while wearing Kobe's for 4 seasons. As much as people want to say that doesn't matter, that matters, man. Clark might not be an anomaly in women's basketball, but she's an anomaly to the wider sports audience. It's the same reasons why people gravitated towards Serena Williams, Tiger Woods, and Lewis Hamilton. They were winners, yes, absolutely dominant for long stretches, but we also loved that they were killing it in a sport where people that look like them aren't the norm. Like, why do you think a lot of hopes and dreams are riding on Cooper Flag? Y'all know who you are. If you thought the hype train for Victor Wembanyama was a tad excessive leading up to this year's draft, it'll be bedlam if Flag dominates at Duke. Yes, he's going to Duke. That school. If Clark is the final kick that convinces Nike to give A'ja Wilson a signature shoe, so be it. Wilson should have one already, but it won't be just her. The next generation will see their signature shoe odds increase as well. You know, rising tides and whatnot. If their stars shine bright in the coming years, Juju Watkins and Paige Beckers will get signature shoes when they turn pro. Maybe we also get a retro of Diana Taurasi's signature shoe that few people know. And while we're at it, how about Nike's Cult Classic program really turn some heads and bring back the Nike Zoom S5, the signature shoe of three-time NCAA champ Coach Don Staley. And this isn't just limited to Nike. Reebok has big plans with Angel Reese on the lifestyle side, having just released a collection of gear and apparel. But if President Shaq plan for Reese doesn't include a signature shoe, someone needs to talk to VP Allen Iverson about doing some secession-level backdoor dealings to get that top spot. If Cameron Brink, who has a New Balance deal already, can shine bright in LA, she should join Kawhi Leonard on the signature level. There's so much potential in the W out there, and it's getting a monumental push thanks to Caitlyn Clark, whether Diana Taurasi wants to admit it or not. All right, our pick of the week is the Nike Kobe 8 Protro Mambasita on May 1st for $190 and the Adidas Kobe 1 Cream White on May 1st for $150 as well. So dropping on the same day are two Kobe Protros / retros that fans will surely appreciate, although I'm guessing one will be more sought after than the other. First up is the next Mambasita colorway of the Kobe 8 that honors the late Gigi Bryant with the butterfly pattern on the upper and her name and jersey number on the back. Then we've got the Adidas Kobe 1 with Lakers vibes and an off-white synthetic upper that appears to be going for a vintage look, which is kind of weird for a sneaker that still looks ahead of its time over 20 years later. Before we get to the hard pass, let's hand out some flowers. Congrats to the GOAT, Michael Jordan. His 2311 racing team won the Geico 500 this past week, and even cooler, 2311 driver Tyler Reddick won while driving a white cement-inspired car. But wait, that's not all. The big win resulted in this epic clip of Michael Jordan celebrating the victory. And this even better clip of Jordan telling somebody named Curtis that we're getting wasted on the plane.
Curtis, we're going to be wasted on the plane, just so you know. We're going to be wasted on the plane. Absolutely wasted. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, guys. See you guys later.
Man, that's kind of cool. May we all have somebody in our lives who loves winning and gets wasted on a private plane like Michael Jordan does. Random here, but shout out to Swerve Strickland. He main evented last week's AEW Dynasty pay-per-view and emerged victorious against Samoa Joe. No, let me clarify, not a Samoan named Joe, the Samoa Joe, the now former AEW World Champion. With that victory, Swerve became the first Black AEW champion. The list of potential challengers and storylines is limitless at this point, but assuming he's healthy, there is one unresolved storyline from Swerve's past that we could all bask in the glory of. Keith Lee. It's Keith Lee, people. And no, not that Keith Lee. The one WWE tried to call Bearcat for some reason. Let's see. Reggie Bush, whose only crime was being ahead of the curve, finally got his Heisman back. Good for him. Scottie Scheffler might be on a roll on the PGA Tour with 4 wins in his last 5 tournaments, including the Masters. But yo, the LPGA's Nelly Korda got him beat, winning her last 5 starts, including the Chevron Championship. While no one can match the impact that Tiger Woods had when he first signed with Nike, the swoosh has to be loving the fact that they currently outfit the top men's and women's golfers on tour. And if we're counting Brooks Koepka, the #1 guy on the LIV Tour as well. I don't actually know what the LIV standings are, but we like Brooks here on the show, so he's a Nike guy, and, you know, that's our excuse. Also, the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer dropped, and yeah, I liked it, and I'm excited for the movie in July. I'm sure the terminally online freaks are losing their minds over some made-up culture war bull that I can't even comprehend, but those people can go kick rocks. I'm here to see Deadpool and Wolverine get into some multiversal hijinks that will either save the MCU or sink it. And you know what? I'm fine either way. Because while it's dead serious for Marvel and Disney that they nail this movie, it's just the next one to me. If it's a banger, dope. If it's a dumpster fire, it can't be as bad as the Eternals or Iron Man 2 or Thor Dark World or another MCU movie that I'm sure someone on the internet likes and is going to be offended that I called it trash. X-Men 97, on the other hand, we are winning with that one, fellas. And finally, Rudy Gobert. No, this is not part of the flowers segment. He was voted the most overrated player in the NBA via a players poll, beating out the likes of Jordan Poole and Trae Young. So as somebody who only really knows Gobert as the guy who made light of the pandemic during the early days and ended up being patient zero in the league, I don't know the other reasons why players and I guess the internet doesn't like him. Then I read a piece on ESPN that's titled, "Why Do So Many Players Have Beef with Rudy Gobert?" I say read in quotation marks because I didn't even get to the first intrusive ad in the article when I saw the words. So Gobert reached out to NFL quarterback Aaron Rodgers. I quickly closed the tab faster than people turning off TaylorMade Freestyle and that whole beef. Anyway, it's time for this week's Hard Pass. We're going to take a look at something in the culture that just needs to go, like playoff sneaker mode. I'm just kidding. We like all of the sneakers that have made their debut during the NBA playoffs. I could be wrong, but it's been a while since we've seen this many signature basketball shoes make their first appearance in the postseason. So, in honor of the time of year when everybody starts paying attention to the NBA again, let's power rank the ones that we've seen so far in the first round. For our honorable mention, we're going to give it to the New Balance Kawhi 4. And I know, but Jacques, we've been seeing these since the start of the year, and I know that. Co-writer was at a Clipper game a few weeks ago, Trader, and he saw the Kawhis for the first time. We're just putting them on the list because New Balance finally did an official announcement for the shoes last week, just in time for the release. Okay, now moving on to the sneakers that actually debuted during the first round. Jordan Luka 3. So, after the Jordan Luka 2 took a slight detour to the 90s with a design that looked right at home with the Jumpman Pros quick and strong, the Luka 3 feels more like a direct follow-up to the Luka 1, with the Luka-inspired isoplate continuing to evolve and learn more about its dynamic playmaker. Hoopers with handles will probably gravitate to these. Now, if only the shoes could do a little bit more to inspire Luka's teammates, not named Kyrie, to show up and play like in Game 2 when they beat the LA Junior varsity basketball team. The Adidas Air Jordan 36, Adidas Don Issue 6. Hey, as somebody who likes the Air Jordan 36, I'm not saying that what Adidas and Donovan Mitchell did with the Issue 6 is necessarily a bad thing. But it really does look like the Air Jordan 36 low without the Jumpman. And out of all the current Adidas signature shoe athletes, it feels like the Don signature line has gotten the short end of the marketing stick for the past few years. So maybe channeling one of the better Air Jordans in the 30s is a strategic move to get people talking one way or another. Either that or we're looking at a Nike PG situation and the line stalls out unless Mitchell can deliver in the playoffs. Then we have the Adidas Dame 9. Gotta love Dame time. Everybody was talking about Dame having lost a step or being a lemon from Milwaukee. Well, he showed the detractors that he still has the magic in Game 1. Whether or not that continues for the rest of the playoffs remains to be seen, but balling out while debuting the Dame 9 is one way to get people to remember that you have a signature line. No offense to the past few years of Dame signatures. Air Jordan 39, as worn by Paolo Banchero. If you know why I emphasize Banchero, you've been watching me on IG, and for that, I appreciate you. Anyways, the Air Jordan 39 is aiming a little higher than what we've seen from previous Air Jordans. For starters, Michael Jordan is involved in the design and performance of the 39s, which, makes sense since he is the guy the shoe is named after, and he probably needs something to do in between not being the majority owner of the Charlotte Hornets anymore and getting hyped for his racing team winning last week. Second, after decades of bombarding us with so many colorways that it's impossible to keep track, there will only be 9 for the 39. That's still a lot in the grand scheme of things, but maybe this back to basics approach will inspire Nike to release more quality colorways with their other signature shoes instead of giving us so many that we forget about most of them. And finally, the Air Jordan 29 influence, which you can find on the textile finish on the mesh upper. And if you know how beloved the 29s were as a performance beast, you know why it's a big deal that they tap both the Jordan 9 and the 29 for this new model. No offense to the Air Jordan 19. Adidas AE1 Low. Hey, why mess with a good thing? That's the theme. Sometimes we see brands get cute and try to dramatically change things up when their signature shoes go low. The result is often a lack of continuity and a failure to recognize why people love the original in the first place. For the Adidas AE1 Low, the three stripes didn't stray too far from the formula, and the result is a sneaker that I think a lot of kids are going to get a lot of mileage out of, both on and off the court. Believe that. Nike KD 17. Oh, just another KD shoe. Yeah, we're never going to get over that clip of Kevin Durant no-selling his signature shoes. I have a feeling more athletes feel that way than they want to admit, but I have to say, I hope KD feels a little bit better about the 17s because the Air Max and Nike Tennis vibes on them have unlocked something fresh to the line, which is hard to do since we're on 17 KDs and counting. I kind of wish he debuted the shoes with a little more interesting colorway than an almost blackout pair, but I feel like with the right colorways, this has a chance to shine in the summertime or be criminally underrated for a decade before people jump on them when they retro in 2034 when Kevin Durant is the leading vote getter in the Major League Pickleball All-Star game. Oh, and real talk, the white, black, and blue colorway of the KD 17 that may or may not be an homage to Penny Hardaway, that's fire. Okay, it's your turn. What playoff sneakers have caught your eye so far? And if you're wondering how we've managed to get this far without mentioning my 17-time world champion, Los Angeles Lakers, you all damn well know why. Go whichever team prevents the Celtics from winning number 18 before we do. That's how I feel about it. All right. Thanks for watching the show. I am your host, Jacques Slade. I'll see you next week, but not before we leave you with a viewer hard pass.
Yo, Jacques. What's up, brother? How you doing? Oh, hey, what's up, co-writer? Anyway, it's your favorite hard passer, Leon Morgan acting on IG. I don't have a hard pass this call. I want to ask your opinion on this. What do you think of this? So when Nike reimagines the 3s and the 4s, yeah, it's cool to use different materials, but what if they actually reimagine the 3s and the 4s using the original Air Max 1 air bubble, the extended window? Because let's be real, if they didn't have that technical difficulty when they had to recall the shoe, I feel the Air Jordan 3 or the Air Jordan 4 would have had more on the air bubble exposed than they do now. What do you think about that one? I would love to hear your opinion on it. Don't gloss over it, brother. I want to hear your opinion. I'm not trying to tell you how to run your show. I just want to hear your opinion on it. All right, y'all. Be safe. Be well. I love the show. Keep doing what you're doing. You too, co-writer. Talk to you later.
So thinking about that, and just to be clarified, you want the Air Jordan 3 and 4 to have the air bubble, the big air bubble from the Air Max 1. And I kind of think that's an interesting thought experiment. I'm not sure I would love it because I'm so used to the way the Air Jordan 3 and Air Jordan 4 look now and the size of the bubble. But a bigger bubble, I don't know. I got to get somebody to do like a rendering of it or something so I can see it. Like I can see it in my mind, but seeing it like actually in person is a whole different thing. Anyway, if any of you guys would like to possibly be featured in a future episode, call us at 818-493-9325. Leave a short message, your socials if you want, no more than 30 seconds. All right, I'll see you next week. Peace.